Hi, and welcome to Positive Relationships. My name is Irene Atia, and I'm a Christian counsellor. Today we're going to talk about men's needs and women's needs. As we've spoken about in previous episodes, men and women are created differently. We think differently, our brains function differently, we're physically different, and our responses to emotions and stress are different. The same is true for our needs. Before we get into the list of needs that we're going to talk about in regards to men and women and them being different, it's important to take note that all human beings have basic needs. Maslow developed a hierarchy of needs where he included physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, and needs of self-actualization. And they go from a basis of needing food and water and breathing all the way up to problem solving and lack of prejudice and acceptance of facts in self-actualization. So some needs are common across all humanity. But within relationships, men and women have distinctly different needs. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, those needs are unsaid. And because they are unsaid and unstated, they're often unmet. So both men and women sometimes expect that their husbands or their wives will know instinctively how to satisfy their needs and how to fulfill their needs. But this is often not the case, because a lot of times women are not aware of men's needs, and neither are men aware of women's needs. And this can create an area of conflict in relationships, where one of the two is expecting something and it just doesn't occur. So over the next few episodes, we're going to talk about the primary needs of men and women within relationships. We're going to start firstly with her needs and move on to his needs and alternate in every episode. We're going to talk about the top 5 needs for men and women. These are not the only needs that men and women have. They have many other needs, but these are the needs that are most important for men and women in order for them to have a healthy and comfortable relationship. So let's start with her. A woman's first need is affection. To most women, affection symbolizes security, protection, comfort, and approval. And although affection is often needed for her to be able to engage in a sexual relationship, it's not the only reason that affection needs to exist in a relationship. In fact, affection for a woman is essential to her sense of security and safety within that relationship. It fosters growth and commitment and a sense of security for her. When a husband shows his wife affection, he says to her, "I'll take care of you and protect you because you are so important to me. I'm concerned about our problems and the problems that you face, and I'm there with you along the way. I think that you've done a great job and I'm proud of you." All those things and more are said through simple acts of affection. A hug can say any or all of those things. And although some people are uncomfortable with physical touch, this is probably something that would need to be explored further. Most need that non-sexual physical affection as a form, physical touch rather, as a form of affection. It can also be displayed in a number of ways. Be creative. A card, an email, flowers, a note, a gift. Different people respond to different forms of love languages and different acts of affection. So it's important for a husband to work out what form of affection his wife feels most comfortable with and feels secure and safe and loved when she receives. Men need to understand that for women, when it comes to a sexual relationship and affection, you cannot have one without the other. Having said that, we can then move on to his first need. Men's first need is often one that raises some question marks and often causes some discussion. But allow me to explain. His first need has been noted as sexual fulfillment. And unfortunately, the typical wife doesn't understand her husband's need for sex as much as he doesn't understand his wife's need for affection. That's not to say that sexual fulfillment is not a need for both husband and wife, but it ranks slightly higher on most men's list of needs. Men's sexual drive is usually far higher than that of women, but not always. There are times when it's in reverse, but in the majority of cases, a husband will usually have a higher sexual drive than that of his wife. And it's also important that women understand that in order for men to have their sexual fulfillment need met, it means that they have satisfied her sexually. It means that they have felt sure that they have provided her with the affection and the attention and the satisfaction that's required in that relationship. It's important that this is an area in a marriage that takes time for conversation and communication. It's something that both husband and wife need to be honest about. And it's also really important that men understand that, as we said earlier, for women, affection is required in order for their sexual fulfillment needs to be met. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time when we talk about more needs of men and women.